I'm here with Will Forbes, an analyst at Edison, and we're talking about Genel Energy. Will, where does Genel operate?
Well, Genel is a London-listed exploration and production company led by ex-BP boss Tony Hayward. Most of its assets are in Kurdistan in northern Iraq, where it has two assets called Torquay and Tak, which are producing oil at the moment, and it has three other main development assets that we're quite excited about. Miran and Binabawi are gas fields, and Shir could be very exciting in the next few years, could produce up to 1 billion barrels of recoverable oil over time. Elsewhere, it has exploration assets in northern Africa and in Malta.
So Genel has had a really good run in 2013. Why should investors continue to look at the stock?
Yeah, well, the company started this year at around £8 per share, and it's increased to over £10, although it slipped recently. We think that the core value of the shares should increase over time by at least 10% per year as the development of Miran, Binabawi, Shir and the two producing fields increase over time. And if exploration is successful, that could also lead to a further step change.
And what are the main drivers of value in Kurdistan?
So there are two main drivers. One is politics and one is operations. If we look at politics, the politics of Kurdistan and versus the politics of Baghdad have been quite unclear over the last few years, but that's becoming much more clear now with pipelines for export to northern Turkey being set up, and they should be completed by 2014. That leaves a clear side for the Kurdistan province to be producing oil on its own account rather than being reliant on Baghdad's oil export capability. So that's one avenue that should be clear by 2014. The second is operations. For Tak and Torquay, they should be producing about 200,000 barrels a day by the end of 2014, and that leaves production from Binabawi and Miran to start in about 2017, and Shir onwards from there. One notable thing is that both Binabawi and Miran are very large gas fields and can produce over 10%, maybe even 15% of Turkey's entire gas demand by 2020. Elsewhere, the exploration side could be very substantial. The company is always looking at exploration assets of over 250 million barrels. So if they were to find a number of fields in that class, the value of the company would increase notably.
What could investors start to look at in coming months?
Well, a lot of talk recently has been over the cash pile the company has. It has over $800 million currently. And with the sell down of Miran, which we expect in the next 12 months or so, that cash will also increase. That means that the company will have excess cash and could return it via either a cash dividend or a buyback. So that's one thing to look at. The second thing is obviously the exploration, which we've already talked about, but there are some very exciting prospects in the wings over the next 12 months.
What are your views on exploration in the next 6 months?
Well, the company is starting its program with a Moroccan well, and they target over 200 million barrels there. There is significant uncertainty on those prospects. Morocco although it's been drilled before, hasn't found any significant hydrocarbons. And so we're cautious at this stage about Moroccan acreage. But if they do find oil in good quantities, then it's very, very valuable and could lead to a step change. Elsewhere, Malta, that's also a new province. Previous historical exploration has also been fairly limited but unsuccessful. So again, we're fairly cautious on that, despite the proximity to Tunisia and to Libya. The region that I'm more excited about, though, is Somaliland, where they'll be drilling 3 or 4 wells over the next 12 months. And in a conjugate basin to Yemen, we think they could find some very significant quantities of light oil and gas. And it's really in that area that we're most positive at this stage. However, a competent person's report will be released in the next month or so, and that will provide further clarity on all of the exploration prospects.
Will, thanks very much for talking to us today.
Thank you.